from my heart. All you gonna get is battle scars.
What can I say? I need more than desire, more than just a pretty face.
J's for Justice.
Okay, you better walk away. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Only one love up beside of the fire.
Wait a second, you guys. We have
Someone who
breaking
can handle me. Someone cut your heart today. Oh yeah, oh
Something
yeah.
scary.
If you
Wait a
try to
minute.
come
I just got a
closer,
text. Oh
I'ma
my
give you some
god.
closure before you know it, it's over.
Wait a second, you guys. We have
So run
breaking
away,
news.
run away.
Oh my god.
I'm not trying to hurt you,
J's for
but I will
Justice.
if I have to. I'ma tell you what I do. Run
Oh my
away,
God.
run away. Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing down. Baby, I'm a soldier, standing my ground. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart,
During
all
an
you gonna
interview
get
with
is
J's
battle
for
scars.
Justice
Baby, I'm a tiger, 20 steps ahead. Baby, I'm a viper, one bite to dead. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing
J's
down.
for
Baby, I'm a
Justice.
soldier, standing my ground. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. Baby, I'm a tiger, 20 steps ahead. Baby, I'm a viper, one bite you dead. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. What can I do? Gotta keep every heart safe, so we make it out alive.
J's for Justice.
I don't wanna waste no time. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Try to play nice so I won't give you heartache. Trust me, baby, when I say,
J's for Justice.
girl, you better walk away. Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you try to come closer, I'ma give you some closure before you know it, it's over. So run away,
Something
run away.
scary.
I'm not trying to hurt you, but I will if I have to. I'ma tell you what I do.
Something
Run away,
scary.
run away. Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing down. Baby, I'm a soldier, standing my ground. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. Baby, I'm a tiger, 20 steps ahead. Baby, I'm a viper, one bite to dead. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing down. Baby, I'm a soldier, standing my ground. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. Baby, I'm a tiger, 20 steps ahead. Baby, I'm a viper, one bite to dead. So if you're gonna fight me.
I saw.
Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning, everyone. Special hello to Ryan, who says, "What is this music?" That's called I'm waiting for a really kick-ass new intro. How are you guys this morning? You're going to have to excuse my voice today. I have a sore throat, and I'm not feeling the greatest. But nonetheless, I'm here. I missed you guys all weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend, and good Monday morning to you. Our first story out of Florida cases is going to be a story that probably didn't get enough airtime. A missing child here in Florida. So I'm going to give it a little more airtime. Oh, and by the way, we have Puppy Cam at the bottom left. I didn't open the blinds for them. Hold on one second. Let me open those blinds. I feel mean. Hold on. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll be okay. There's a dog. A guy walking his dog. Lizzie, did you get my email? Whatever it was that you and Cher were talking about was not me. Oh, the white rabbit thingy? Yeah, hold on a second, you guys. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is a missing teen out of Boynton Beach. And they gave her a whole 22 seconds.
Boynton Beach police are searching for a missing 13-year-old girl. Kate Roberts left her home on Sealofts Drive at 8 p.m. last night and has not returned. Kate's described as 5'4", and she was last seen wearing a black tank top, gray sweatpants, and white sneakers. Anyone with information should give Boynton Beach police a call.
And that's it. That's all the info they give, but okay, so Lizzie Bones, to answer your question, wait, let me come back. So I'm sure all of you have heard, I should probably address it. There was a channel that was using a bunch of YouTube creators. The channel started out talking about basically people taking advantage of the case. That was their overtones. Then I was made aware. Well, when I first heard about the channel, I asked Cher about it. She didn't know who it was. Seemed surprised to hear there was this channel. Then, long story short, I saw comments from 3 weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. Well, the end result was A.F. Pennington apparently came out and said it was her. So, obviously, my gut feeling was right. So, at any rate, Lizzie, hashtag free Lizzie Bones. Thanks, Lizzie, for following up with that. I'm glad you mentioned it. So, yeah, Boynton Beach, missing 14-year-old. Our next story is out of Hollywood, Florida. And every time I think of Hollywood, I think of Adam Walsh. That's where Adam Walsh lived and where he was abducted from. Very, very sad.
Police are investigating how a father and his 2 children died after they were found floating in the family pool.
The children's mother making that horrific discovery. Local 10's Ian Margol is live in Hollywood with this tragic story. Ian.
It's absolutely devastating. And tonight there are friends and family here at the home mourning together. We were speaking with neighbors earlier today. None of them can believe how this happened.
Tragedy hitting this Hollywood neighborhood Thursday when a father and his 2 young kids died after being found unresponsive in a pool.
That crushed my heart.
Amparo Costio says she's lived across the street from the family for years and was used to hearing their 2 youngest kids, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, playing outside. But on Thursday, she says she didn't hear anything until emergency vehicles began to arrive.
The only thing I hear is when the ambulance came and police cars and everything.
Police say the mother frantically called 911 Thursday afternoon after finding her husband and 2 youngest kids unconscious in their pool. First responders rushed to the home on the 700 block of South Highlands Drive, but by the time they were taken to Memorial Regional Hospital, it was too late. All 3 were pronounced dead. Back at the home, Sky 10 showed the screened-in pool area and a woman being consoled by police in the backyard as the investigation into how this happened continues.
My heart is crushed because when an adult had accident or something happened, okay, it's an adult. But what crushed my heart was the kids.
So at this point, police do not believe any foul play is involved in this. They believe this is just some sort of horrible accident. But as for how exactly it happened, that is still unclear. As soon as we get any updates, of course, we'll let you know. Live in Hollywood tonight, I'm Ian Margol, Local 10 News.
And Ottawa.
What do you guys think of that story? Do you think that sounds a little weird, huh? Ashley says it seems suspicious. And Heather says how devastating. She had to be losing her mind. Electrical issue maybe in pool. Yeah, it is weird. I couldn't imagine, though, finding my husband and child. Oh, it's horrible. This is another story out of Florida. This is in North Palm Beach. And this is another time that we are hearing about a bicyclist going on the drawbridges when they're going up. And we just reported on one of these maybe 2 weeks ago or so. And the guy that controls the drawbridge or whatever, he lost his job, and I think they're looking into pending charges.
PTV.com, a Contact 5 investigation into bridge tenders has uncovered stunning video of a man hanging on for dear life.
This time, a bridge in North Palm Beach opened and it trapped a 59-year-old bicyclist on it. Contact 5 investigator Michael Buchner has been at the forefront of exposing these issues. Michael?
Yeah, we first showed you video of the Lantana Bridge opening with a car on it. Now, a new video given to us shows another bridge tender opening the Parker Bridge in North Palm Beach with someone on it. We also discovered a connection between this incident and the one in West Palm Beach where a 79-year-old woman died.
911. I'm on a bicycle and I'm on U.S.1.
The Parker Bridge in North Palm Beach opened while a bicyclist crossed over it.
You're at the Parker Bridge? Yeah, and the cross bridge opened up to let a sailboat go out underneath.
A driver waiting at the bridge shot the video, which shows the biker holding on as the span continues to rise.
The guy who opens the bridges and closes the bridges had no idea that I was on top. I was standing on top, and then he opens the bridge while I was on top.
The man on the bike told police he never heard the warning bells to indicate the bridge was going up until the bridge was already in motion.
So you were holding down to the bridge as it was opening? Yes, ma'am. I was straight up in the air.
Video shows the man losing his grip and stepping off his bike to grab the railing.
My bike fell down and I held on for my dear life.
The video ends and the man who shot it told Contact 5 that he assisted the bicyclist down to safety.
I'm standing on a safe ground.
The bridge tender employed by Florida Drawbridges, Inc. told police that she did not see anyone on the bridge at the time she began to lift it, and claims she sounded the warning bells and lowered the bridge arms before lifting the bridge. Police say the bridge tender was...
Well, people wear earbuds and they're not going to maybe hear that. It's scary. People need to be aware, right?
...aware of the incident until an officer brought it to her attention.
This gentleman was successful in at least not falling to his death.
Attorney Lance Ivey gave Contact 5 the video of the November 2020 incident after the witness sent it to him and gave the attorney permission to distribute it to the media.
We're talking about within feet of the bridge house, within eyeshot. They're right there. These people are there to be seen.
Contact 5 first showed you another horrifying video of the county-owned Lantana Bridge opening last October with a car still on it. That cost that bridge tender her job. This latest video surfacing of the incident in North Palm Beach comes after the tragic death of 79-year-old Carol Wright. Ivy represents her family.
Just a quiet giver is who Carol Wright was.
Wright died February 6th after the Royal Park Bridge opened while she crossed it. The Florida Department of Transportation owns the bridge, and it's manned by bridge tenders from the same company that manned the Parker Bridge in North Palm Beach, Florida Drawbridges, Inc. That company and FDOT have not released details about the West Palm incident.
And it's just disturbing that, again, this doesn't seem to be an isolated incident with Mrs. Wright. It appears like it might be problematic for Palm Beach County, maybe all South Florida.
WPTV and Contact 5 continue looking into these bridge tenders. We're continuing to learn a lot more, and it should be of concern to anyone who crosses over one of these bridges. Michael Butchner, WPTV News Channel 5.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, Cher and Mr. Positive, thank you for being here and checking convictions. Hello. I did just talk about what happened on Cher's channel, and I did apologize to Cher for not just doing that in private. It didn't really get the reaction I wanted when I asked the question, so I apologize to both of you. But apparently my gut feeling about that channel was right, because A.F. Pennington was the creator of it. So I hope we can all move past that situation.
Roberta.
Hey, Dat Set. Hey, Tracy. All right, our next story is a cold case. And look at this. This is so sad. It got 353 views. Get down. 353 views. This is 40 years ago.
For nearly 40 years, Retha Hires left one night for groceries, never making it home. Tonight on The Missing, her daughter is pleading for closure.
None of it adds up, does it? That's why I say it's a mystery.
This wife and mother of 6 went out to buy laundry detergent and never returned to her Largo home. Now, nearly 40 years later, Retha Hires' daughter, Dana Hires, remembers it like it was yesterday.
I was home that day. I can remember her standing at the door, waving goodbye. And, you know, that was my last time seeing her, and I was 14 years old.
Hires' car was found 4 months later in Clearwater. Investigators say she had an affair with Cleveland Hill Jr., an asphalt contractor and one-time minister. Detectives say 2 other women he dated also disappeared. Margaret Dash disappeared in 1974, Hires in 1982, and Danielle Johnson vanished in 89. Hill was never charged with a crime in the disappearances of these 3 women. 10 Tampa Bay followed this case and reported that in 1968, Hill shot his wife and mother-in-law and served time for those crimes. He was later sentenced to drug trafficking in 1992, then was released from prison in 2008, and later died in Virginia.
I need closure. You know, the families, 3 families need closure. I mean, it's been too long. Someone in the community knows. Give us closure. That's all we want is closure. That's it. I want to put her to rest if she needs to be put to rest. Let me put my mom to rest.
They have been through so much and they just want some peace. We've been sharing the stories of the missing for months now. You can help their loved ones find them by sharing these stories on social media. We have all of them right now on our 10 Tampa Bay YouTube page. Go ahead and take out your phone or your tablet and point the camera at that QR code. A notification will pop up and take you straight to our page.
So yeah, 40 years has gone by in this story. Thank you, Mr. Positive. Yeah, so I like to raise awareness on these cold cases. Because like I said, it's only gotten 353 views. It's really sad. Yes, Cher, I agree. I agree. And it's Monday, new week, new times, and it's water under the bridge. We're all human, right? We are all human beings. All right. Let's see. What is our next story? This one or that one? Let's see. I've got so many. I wanted to definitely, showcase the missing people first. So here, okay, let's watch this one.
New here at 6, a grieving father.
So this is a 21-year-old died at a Florida drug rehab facility. And again, this only has 3,000 views. I mean, this is just, it's crazy. The things that go viral and the things that don't. And I like to bring attention to the things that don't sometimes too.
More patients speaking out about what they consider poor patient care at a local drug rehab center after a 21-year-old man died there last month.
Team investigator Adam Walsh has been uncovering the problems at that facility for 4 years now, and tonight looks at how they can affect not only patients but also taxpayers and our community.
Stone was an awesome kid. He's 21 years old, just full of life.
Stone Galloway turned to River Oaks Treatment Center for a new life, free from his addiction to anxiety drugs like Xanax and Valium prescribed to him by a doctor since he was 13.
It was our understanding he was to get 24/7 care, and he was supposed to be checked on every hour. That was the whole reason my son went there, is because he was scared of dying.
But on January 16th, 9 days after he arrived from Oklahoma,
we get a call Sunday morning telling us that they found him dead.
County Fire Rescue, what is the address of your emergency?
the audio in the 911 call is redacted since the incident is still under investigation.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
But a month after burying his son,
I'm livid with those people.
Paul Galloway says River Oaks failed to provide the 24/7 medical support promoted on the company's website.
There was no reason for my son to have died there.
I went to sleep with someone dying right next to me.
DJ Sullivan was Stone's roommate at River Oaks. He has since returned to Tennessee. Sullivan says Stone missed his opportunity to get his nightly medication after staying late at the gym. So Sullivan says he gave Stone part of a Suboxone pill to help him sleep.
The sound he was making, and it was just unsettling, like that.
Sullivan says he reported Stone's labored breathing to a nurse and another employee who he says dismissed his concerns.
Like, that should be a red flag in your head. Like, hey, I need to go check on this kid because, you know, I done came to him twice.
10 hours later, Stone was found dead.
I woke up, and that's when I looked over, and the nurse was on the bed on him, giving him CPR.
We attempted to verify Sullivan's account, which he says he gave to the sheriff's office. The report was heavily redacted because the death is under investigation. No one from River Oaks would talk about the death.
Just to have it ignored and just to have them forget about him all night long, it's unforgivable. So you ask me how I feel?
The I-Team has uncovered problems at River Oaks in the past. In December 2016, a patient being admitted to River Oaks died while trying to run away. According to a lawsuit filed by the patient's widow, an employee with no medical training was left alone attempting to admit the patient. The lawsuit alleges the employee utilized a golf cart to chase down the paranoid, suicidal, and delusional patient onto a busy road where he was hit by a car and killed. American Addiction Centers, the parent company of River Oaks, has denied liability. Jack Gordon represents the patient's widow.
There is an absolute lack of oversight. There is a lack of supervision.
Another lawsuit claims that in November 2018, a patient suffering severe tremors while detoxing from alcohol was left unattended and set herself on fire while trying to smoke.
Her blouse was engulfed in flames. She suffered significant burns. Fire rescue responded. She was transported to Tampa General Hospital. She was in critical condition. She remained there for about 45 days.
According to a police report, another patient jumped over a fence of a gated neighborhood and rifled through cars, stealing valuables to trade for drugs. He shot himself in the head when he was confronted by a resident. He died several days later. Former River Oaks Security and Transportation Director Mike Isom told us at that time patients frequently left the facility to get drunk or high.
They would just walk out, walk down the street, walk right down into the 7-Eleven themselves, go in there, pop a cold 40,
In 2018, the I-Team uncovered there were 433 911 calls in the first 2 years after the center was open. At the time, River Oaks said in a statement, "We have worked extensively to reduce our impact and use of these services." We wanted to find out if things have improved, so we asked for new numbers. It turns out that River Oaks has been keeping first responders plenty busy. In the past 3 calendar years, there have been 498 calls for service, calls that are paid for with your tax dollars. The 25 pages of calls include deaths, assaults, thefts, missing persons, a sex offense, and hundreds of ambulance responses.
It tells me that they haven't done anything. They've continued to let this lack of duty of care continue on and on.
River Oaks' parent company, Nashville-based American Addiction Centers, has had its own problems, filing for bankruptcy in 2020 and discharging $500 million in debt, including millions owed for negligence lawsuits filed in other states where AAC operates. I emailed AAC spokesperson Joy Sutton 3 times and spoke to her briefly on the phone, but she never responded to my questions.
We trusted our child with these people. You know, he wasn't off the streets. He was out of my 3rd bedroom.
Why did you think it was so important to talk to me?
Primarily so it doesn't happen again. But given their track record, to be honest with you, I don't think anything will change.
I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walsh, taking action for you.
Oh my gosh, I was muted. It is messed up. I agree. And I said I agree with Mr. Positive that... Where did his comment go now? It got buried. Hey, Crack Rack. Yes, I was muted. Sorry. Let's see. I've got our next story. And this is an update from the cold case that was solved that ended up being Detective James Howard Harrison out of St. Lucie County that killed a young girl. Here is a follow-up article or video. And this man was highly decorated, apparently, in the force. So we'll let this ad play and then we'll watch this video. Sorry, my screen is not good today. There we go.
To link him to cases from that time, but tonight an expert explains how it can still be done.
Former Deputy James Howard Harrison died in 2008. This, the only local record that survived. Retirement paperwork and a recommendation letter from 1972. The then Hernando County Sheriff calls Harrison dependable, writing, "I think this man would do an outstanding job for you."
People can be very good at what they do, but have an evil, sinister side.
Now, according to detectives in St. Lucie, Harrison allegedly assaulted and killed a child in 1983. Former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer says it's unlikely Lorianne Weiser is the only victim, and it's unusual Harrison worked at 10 different agencies. St. Lucie detectives say he was a Hernando deputy and a Brooksville police officer.
Most law enforcement officers do not skip agencies. I think a cold case squad in each of those jurisdictions needs to be assigned this case.
So far, cold case detectives in Hernando tell 8 on Your Side they have not tied any unsolved case to Harrison. And the city of Brooksville, which would have records from the now dissolved Brooksville PD, tells me they thoroughly searched the records but found no trace of Harrison. Coffendorfer says most predators prey where they live and work. She thinks the dozens of agencies in our area should all check their unsolved case files.
I would narrow my focus down to somebody similar to the little girl where his actions seem to have been exposed, and I would look at that in that county. These departments may have to hand dig.
No doubt it is grueling work. That former FBI agent says other potential victims would be preteen girls who were sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
Keith.
So yes,
right,
that
thank you,
is the
Marcy.
preacher slash officer. Gross, huh? So there, what she means by hand dig, I think, is all of the papers and all of the different agencies that this guy supposedly worked for. Okay, so here is another one. This is in the panhandle of Florida. This is Holmes County. This man is facing charges after throwing drugs out his car window while fleeing from law enforcement. Jarius Deshaun Throne, 25, was charged with intent to sell marijuana, felony fleeing, and eluding law enforcement, reckless driving, possession of drug paraphernalia, improper use of a medical card, and speeding. The driver of the SUV initially stopped, but troopers said they smelled marijuana and asked him to get out of the car. He sped off, almost running over the trooper's foot, and another trooper arrived. They attempted a precision immobilization technique, but the driver was able to regain control. While fleeing, troopers said Throne began throwing several bags out the window to allegedly destroy drugs. So he had 2 pounds of pot, and he was booked in the Holmes County Jail. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission responded to the scene and found one of the large bags that was tossed out the window in the water. 2 pounds of pot. I mean, I just can't believe that's even news anymore, to be honest with you. Like, who cares anymore about that? Right. I mean, Ellen, it's legal here for medical use. Hey, Dr. Malmo. Yeah, I need to drink some tea. I've been drinking coffee, which I thought like the hot or warm coffee would help too. It has a little bit. Last night I couldn't even speak at all. I couldn't even talk. I had to whisper. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live. But I was. But I am going to keep this one short. I've got one more story. And sorry, this isn't my normal live stream, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Okay, we'll end this on such a happy note here. Well, that's not the one I wanted. All right, we're going to end this on a funny note. And thank you to Potato and Dadset for throwing these links up for me. But we're going to leave on a funny note here. This is out of Collier County, Florida. A man is facing charges after getting into fights at 2 Collier County restaurants. See this dude? According to Naples police, 59-year-old Eugene Bingham was picking fights with diners at the Ocean Prime on Monday night. At one point, a person at the restaurant got the attention of a police officer and said Bingham had claimed he was Mick Jagger.
Oh, man.
Officers say Bingham left the restaurant and they tried to detain him at a nearby park. According to the arrest report, Bingham charged at an officer and said, "Don't fuck with me. Leave me the fuck alone." Shortly after the interaction, officers placed him inside of a police car where he vomited in the back seat.
Creep town, dude.
As one of the officers was walking back to the patrol car, the manager of Yaba's, a nearby restaurant, informed police that Bingham was kicked out of his establishment 3 times for being disruptive and drunk. Bingham was charged with disorderly conduct and battery on a law enforcement officer. So there you go. There's the Florida wannabe Mick Jagger. Yeah, he's got the moves like Jagger. He's got the moves like Jagger. I know, I'm sorry, Heather. I'll try to come back on later. I just want to rest my voice for a while. But anyway, sorry, this was a lamer version of our Florida cases, but sometimes we're a little under the weather, so excuse me, and I'm going to actually rest my voice, and I do have some Grady that I haven't done, Grady Judd. I have a lot of updates, so I hope to see you guys later, and enjoy your Monday.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real,
Roberta.
feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got
Roberta.
time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time. I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a
Let me tell you something else, Ashley, before you interrupt me again.
You wanna be